Kingfisher Airline replies to aviation regulator DGCA's show cause notice on flights cancellation, seeks more time to explain its stand, hopeful of resuming operations on 6th of November, subject to the approval from DGCA. The airline extends partial lockout till Tuesday next week. The other lead story of the day, the ongoing UN Biodiversity Convention concludes with the parties agreeing upon a framework for resource mobilization for conservation of biodiversity. The ambitious goals known as Aichi, targets to be achieved by 2020, set for protection of biodiversity. And the Defence Minister and the Chiefs of Armed Forces led the nation in paying homage to martyrs of the 1962 India-China War. A.K. Antony says India's armed forces are fully capable of defending the country. The Bangladesh government today honors 61 foreign friends, including several Indians, for their outstanding support and contribution to the country's liberation in 1971. And in the top story in sports, Saina Nehwal storms into the semi-finals of the Denmark Open badminton tournament. She will meet Chinese world number 1 Yang Wang next. Well, those were the lead stories on DD News at this hour, and now for the top stories in detail. Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh and UPA Chairperson Sonia Gandhi will today launch Aadhaar-enabled service delivery in Dudu in Rajasthan. Marking the second anniversary of the Unique Identification Authority of India, the nationwide Aadhaar cards will plug loopholes in implementation of welfare schemes. Schemes including Manrega and pension schemes will be integrated with the Aadhaar card. The payment mechanism is aimed at checking corruption and pilferage in the social sector schemes that seek to promote financial inclusion. The government is rolling out Aadhaar-enabled service delivery initiatives in 51 districts across the country. More details of the launch of the schemes there. Ramakant, we know that the Andhra Pradesh is in forefront as far as the implementation part of the scheme is concerned. You've been talking to us since morning and basically trying to put in perspective how this is going to be implemented and beneficiaries aspect also. We believe you have some guests with you. Over to you for more details.
Well, Sakal, actually the reason why Kakinada was selected for the entire process is because this is the only town in the entire country which had enrolled 98% of the population for the Aadhaar-based public distribution of ration. I have with me Deputy Director General of UIDAI, and he'll tell us as to how the entire process is being implemented. This is a finest example of how the technology can be used for effective use of public distribution system. Our district administration worked under one unity, and let's talk to the in-charge collector here, because the collector had gone to Dudu in Jaipur to receive an excellence award. Mr. Ramarao Garu, how difficult, but now that's all gone.
All right. Thank you so much, Ramakant, for joining us from Kakinada. And let's quickly go across to Dudu in Rajasthan and talk to Sudhakar Das, our correspondent, to tell us how it's what is the lineup of events there. Sudhakar, since morning, when do we expect the formal launch? When is Prime Minister expected? And also, what's the kind of build-up, the expectations as far as the people, the beneficiaries there in Dudu in Rajasthan are concerned, as far as the launch of this particular scheme is concerned?
जी बिल्कुल सकल, अभी हम जो प्राइम मिनिस्टर और यूपी अध्यक्ष सोनिया गांधी उनके चौपर की आवाज सुन सकते हैं, और थोड़ी सी हलचल आप जो तमाम लोग यहाँ आए हुए हैं, आम लोग.
The integration of various government schemes, for example public distribution system, for example pension welfare schemes, will take place on the Aadhaar platform.
जी बिल्कुल, अमूमन पहले क्या होता था सकल, ये पैसे राज्य सरकार तक आते थे, उसके बाद फिर राज्य सरकार के जरिए जिलों तक पहुंचते थे, जिलों के बाद जो तमाम विभागों के जरिए फिर वो आम लोगों तक पहुंचते थे. ऐसे में कई बार वो पैसे रास्ते में.
From the beneficiaries' point of view, since we can see a large the crowd behind you, in fact, teeming crowd behind you there at the launch of this scheme, how are the beneficiaries really looking at it? The grassroots level people in Dudu, how are they going to benefit?
कई लोगों से बात करने की, कई लोग हैं हमारे साथ. अभी हम लोग बात कर रहे थे. संगीता जी, आपका आधार कार्ड क्या बना है और आपके इलाके में लोगों के आधार कार्ड बने हैं?
हाँ, हमारे इलाके में बहुत से लोगों के आधार कार्ड बने हैं।
क्या आपको क्या लगता है, आप आशा सहयोगिनी है शायद, इसका आशा सहयोगिनियों को भी आधार कार्ड से जोड़ा जाए, कितना फायदा मिलने की उम्मीद, किस तरह से फायदा मिलेगा?
हाँ, सभी आशा सहयोगिनियों को, अधिकतर बुजुर्गों को, सभी को, बच्चों को, सभी को जोड़
है। जहाँ 80% से ज्यादा, यहाँ दुदू की अगर बात करें तो यहाँ 90% से ज्यादा लोगों के आधार कार्ड बन चुके हैं और लोगों को उम्मीद भी है, जैसा आपने सुना होगा कि उनको लग रहा है कि फायदा काफी मिलेगा उनको, और खासतौर से जो सीधे कैश ट्रांसफर की बात है उनके अकाउंट में, तो ये एक बड़ी बात है। उनको लगता है कि बीच में जो भ्रष्टाचार था वो खत्म हो सकेगा और जो सरकार की सुविधाएं सीधे इन तक पहुंच सकेंगी।
The benefits of the schemes should percolate to the grassroots level. Sudhakar, now what is the latest? We believe that Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh and UPA Chairperson Sonia Gandhi, have they arrived, or what's the latest as far as the events, the lineup of the events are concerned? We expect them in any moment from now?
जी बिल्कुल सकल, मैं आपको थोड़ा सा पैन करके अपने कैमरामैन सुरेंद्र यादव जी से कहूंगा वो दिखाएं। यहाँ भीड़ काफी है, एक स्क्रीन भी लगाया गया है जो वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग के जरिए देश के दूसरे हिस्सों में जहां
around 2 a.m. in the morning, and we just heard the Environment Minister Jayanti Natarajan basically giving us the crux of the conference, the outcome in terms of when she says that the goal to achieve the resource mobilization, the clearance of the logjam as far as resource mobilization is concerned. She said that the parties have arrived to a consensus as far as this aspect is concerned. How do you define the outcome of the convention? What have we really achieved?
Well, Sakal, like you said, India being the president of COP11, from Indian perspective, from the president perspective, it's really successful because it has convinced 184 nations about the biodiversity importance and also appealed to allocate more funds, and it also exhibited that it's a good investment for progress. And in Nagoya, Japan in 2010, there was no result and it was inconclusive on resource mobilization. But in Hyderabad, the developed world promised to consider to increase the allocation for biodiversity. Only G77, some nations had some reservation in implementation, they say because of a market-oriented economy. But the Hyderabad Declaration, which was released last night, it also appealed to implement the Nagoya Protocol in letter and spirit, and India has already ratified the protocol, and the Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh already pledged $50 million for various biodiversity invention. So there is increasing awareness level, and on coastal and marine biodiversity, we are way ahead. And biodiversity and livelihood, we have already integrated into national development agenda and into poverty reduction programs. Sakal?
And now, having said that, what's the way forward? Since we also you also talked about the target set by 2020.
Yes, for 2 years since we will head the CBD, there are a couple of things. One, in all, $150 to $450 billion are required for biodiversity convention, and many countries are looking forward for more public-private partnership, which India has shown in a few cases. It has shown the way. And the two important things, Sakal, though US is not a party to CBD, it has sent 300 observers for the first one for CBD proceedings in Hyderabad through webcast, which Doordarshan did. There were highest number of hits from US, from government, from industry, and from NGOs. So this shows India can really show the way, and also Prime Minister being a great economist, he said how best we can integrate into national development programs. And Sakal, all the delegates expressed happiness, and you, in fact, European Union proposed that it is one of the best conferences conducted by Convention on Biodiversity. And they said in 2014, when the next conference will be held in Republic of Korea, they can take a lot of lessons from India. Sakal?
On that note, thank you very much, Imani, for joining us from Hyderabad on COP11. Significance and the outcome. And at this point, we slip into a very short commercial break. We'll be back in a short while. Stay with us. Back. Militants yesterday opened fire at an army convoy near a prominent hotel on the outskirts of Srinagar, killing a civilian and injuring 2 others. This was the first such attack since May. The Ultras opened. The cash-strapped Kingfisher Airlines has extended lockout till 23rd of October, even as it failed to submit its response to the show cause notice issued by the civil aviation regulator. The airline, which has grounded operations from beginning, approval from the airline regulator DGCA. The government is likely to introduce Nuclear Safety and Regulatory Authority Bill in the coming winter session of Parliament. Smooth passage of that report in our bulletins later. Let's move on to the other stories of the day. 50 years ago, on 20th October 1962, China launched a war against India because of differences on the boundary issue. The attack by the People's Liberation Army was concurrently from both west and east. And news, a prominent Lebanese intelligence official opposed to President Bashar al-Assad was killed in a huge car bomb in Beirut in another sign the Syria's civil war. And on to Sports News, A's Indian shuttler Saina Nehwal continued her rampaging comeback to storm into the semi-finals of the Denmark Super Series. Saina notched up a 21-10, 21-11 scoreline. Saina, see a quick recap of the headlines at the start. With that, we wrap up the bulletin. You stay tuned to DD News for the latest. Namaskar.